Welcome back, everybody. Mm, it's really good to be back with you again after the holidays. Mm. So I'm imagining, let's see, there's 107 people on here right now, and I'm just imagining that I could see each one of you. And I've been learning a lot about something called co-regulation, which is the way that we humans can help each other regulate ourselves or calm our nervous systems together. And I've been reflecting so much lately. This past few weeks, I've been really careful about isolating. I had a couple of trainings that I was going to go to, or that I went to, and then another one next weekend. So my partner and I have been really careful about isolating, and went way up north. And I've just been really reflecting on the social isolation that we've all been in for such a long time now. And I know that for some people who are living alone, um, that it's even more pronounced. And I know I'm just wanting to share, I think, how much it affected me just being really isolated the last few weeks. Um, I'm just wanting each one of you to know that I'm thinking of you, and I'm sending you love, and I know we're not in person, and so it's not meeting, certainly not meeting my social needs in the way that I'd like it to be. And that we're all at the Monona Terrace hoping to be back in person as soon as we possibly can, as soon as it's safe. And in the meantime, I will do my best to teach in a way that I hope can help you feel connected. And so, with that in mind, what I'd love to do, if you're open to it, is I would love to take some deep breaths with you. And I'm going to look right into my camera, and I want you to imagine that I'm looking into your eyes and you're looking into mine. That's what I'm imagining. And what I want you to imagine is that we are supporting each other, and we are supporting each other. And what we're going to do is, if you're in a space where you can make sound, what I would encourage you to do is we're going to breathe deeply into our bellies. And on the exhale, you're going to make a sound. It can be a sigh, it can be any kind of sound that you want, any kind of sound that would feel good for your body right now. And the eye contact and the breath and the sound being in sync, that is one way we as humans can co regulate. We can help our nervous systems come into a state of calm, a state that is pro social and feels better. So let's do that together. Let's do 5 deep breaths. And if it feels good to you, I mean, trust your intuition. If this sounds bad or doesn't resonate with you, then don't do it. But if it sounds like it might be helpful and you're willing to try, then look into my eyes and make a sound with me. So you're going to be hearing your own sound and you're going to be hearing my sound. And there's something about that neuroscientifically that is really good for our human brains and beings. All right, so let's take a deep breath into the belly. 5 breaths. Ah, ah, ah. Ah, ah, good. All right. Now you can either maintain eye contact, or if it feels better to close your eyes, that's fine. But just let your body move around, wiggle around, move how it feels good in your body. Stretch if you want. You can stand up. Kind of got myself set up on a bed here, so it would be messy for me to stand up right at the moment. But you do what you need to do for your own body. And if it feels good to maintain eye contact, great. If you're a person that eye contact feels intrusive or uncomfortable, just close your eyes or look down, whatever you're needing. You can make sound if you want. You can shake if you want. Uh, uh, just so you know, I'm regulating myself just as much as helping you regulate. I had kind of a crazy morning where I planned to teach meditation somewhere else and then lost my car keys right before I was supposed to leave to get home. So it feels good to be light with you and just kind of just laugh at the unpredictability of life right now, right? For all of us. Misty was commenting that one of the many things we're learning during these times is flexibility, how things can change at the drop of a hat. So, all right. Next, I would really encourage you to get into a position where your body feels really comfortable. If you're tired today, if you're hurting physically or emotionally, and you feel like you need something more gentle and more nourishing, then maybe even consider lying down if that's accessible right now. And maybe even putting something under your knees, getting a cozy blanket if you have one. It's a really cold day out there. Let's just be together, be as cozy as we can, and support one another in these crazy, crazy times. Ah, mm, okay. So tune in. If you could do that best by closing your eyes or looking down. If it helps you to see me and it helps you feel more connected, and that's what you're needing right now, do that. Just follow your intuition and check in and see, check in with your body. See if you can feel your body right now. Feel your hands. If you can't feel your hands, maybe even just put them together, squeeze them, rub them together. Bring sensation, bring feeling into this body. Wake the body up. Maybe even put your hands on your face. Put your hands over your eyes. Feel your eyes. You can just do a little squeeze of your upper arms. Give yourself a little hug. Wrap those arms around yourself if that feels good. Just give yourself a squeeze. Mm. Feel your seat. Feel where your butt is contacting the ground. If you're laying down, feel your entire spine contacting the surface. If you're upright, feel the length of your spine, vertical. Feel your legs. If you don't have a lot of sensation, maybe even put your hands on your legs. Give yourself a little mini massage. And feel your feet. And then tune into the more subtle, tune into the breath if you can today. Simply come into awareness of the air coming in through your nostrils if your nose isn't stuffed up. If you've got a cold or something, breathe through your mouth, obviously. See if you can trace the path of the breath all the way from the tip of your nostrils through the nasal passages, down the back of the throat, into the lungs, expanding and stretching, into the belly, pushing outward with the in breath. So just pay attention to the in breath now. Focus on the path of the breath, all the sensations. See how nuanced and subtle you can get with it. Allow your face to soften. Allow the jaw to drop. If you're noticing your face is really tight today, maybe even scrunch it up, make it real tight so you can feel what all those muscles being contracted feels like. And then release. And do that a few more times if you're noticing you're needing that. Still tuning into the in breath. Follow the entire path of the in breath. When the mind wanders, no problem, no big deal. Just come back to the in breath. Now tuning into the even more subtle, the out breath. So seeing if you can track and really focus on the out breath now, beginning with the subtle contraction of the belly button moving towards the spine, and then the softening of the chest wall, the dropping of the shoulders, and then feeling the air Come back up through the nasal passages, back past the throat and out the nose. So tuning into the out breath now. Feeling how the whole body naturally softens with the out breath. Yeah, and mind wanders, no problem, no big deal. Just bring it back to the breath when you realize that it's wandered. No need for judgment or criticism. This is just what the mind does. Now, see if you can track the entire breath from the tip of the nose on the inhale, down the back of the throat, chest expanding and stretching, belly expanding, belly contracting, chest while relaxing, shoulders relaxing, out through the nose. Just see if you can do one complete breath. Let's just do one breath. Now see if you can do 3 breaths and stay focused just for 3 breaths on the sensations of breathing. If the mind wanders, it's no big deal, but we're going to break it into these little tiny chunks so that you can see that we can build this muscle of awareness. And it's not bad when the mind wanders. We're not going to punish ourselves. We're not going to strive. We're just going to set the intention for 3 breaths to stay focused purely on the sensations of breathing. Let's do that together now. 3 breaths. Beautiful. If you noticed your mind wandered during those 3 breaths, awesome. You saw it. If your mind didn't wander, also awesome. All right. So that's what we're doing. We're just like building the muscle of concentration during some forms of meditation. It's one of the many things that we're doing so that when we are in a place where we're triggered or caught, we can call on this. It'll be there because we've practiced it. So, with the intention of taking this attitude of non judgmental, kind awareness, we're paying attention on purpose to the breath. We're not rejecting anything, okay? We're not rejecting thoughts or body sensations or emotions. And when anything other than the breath arises into your consciousness, you're just going to notice it And when you notice that your primary awareness or focus is not on the breath, you're just going to gently redirect back to the sensations of breathing. So, we're going to practice together for just a short amount of time in silence. I want to give those of you that are new to this just a short amount of time. So, we're just going to do this for 5 minutes, and then I will come back with more instruction. Um, so, be really the biggest, most important instruction is there's no right or wrong, there's no perfectionism here. The being self-critical is actually the opposite of what we're wanting to do here. So be gentle, be compassionate. When the mind wanders, it's really no big deal. Happens to everyone. So let's practice together with awareness on the breath for about 5 minutes. Beautiful. Made it for 5 minutes. Does not matter how much your mind wandered. The moment of mindfulness is when we see that the mind has wandered and we bring it back. So it's almost like we can celebrate when the mind wanders, when we notice it. We can flip it. Instead of being critical when the mind wanders, we can celebrate when we come back, when we notice. So tuning in now and just noticing your body, noticing if there are any emotions present. Noticing that emotions are simply sensations in the body that we've given names to. Seeing if you can tune in to whether there's an emotional tone here for you today. Seeing if you're trying to block it or resist it. Many, many times in spiritual circles, there is this confusion, this desire to block emotion. We can certainly learn how to do that with meditation. For me, I think that a really skillful approach is to use meditation to tune into what we're really feeling because it's here anyway. And in my experience, the more we block it, the louder it yells at us, the louder it speaks. We can use meditation to see what's here, and then we have a choice about how we take care of ourselves. But if it's blocked, then it comes out all sideways, can come out at people in projection. So just gently tuning in and seeing what's here. And if you need to block some of it today, and that's the wise, skillful choice for you, then trust that. Always trust your own intuition above any teacher. Always trust your own truth above any teacher. You are the one who knows. If you are feeling some emotion in your body that is feeling like it needs attention or even a physical sensation, you may choose to put your hand on that part of your body. If you're feeling tenderness or sadness or vulnerability, you may want to put your hand on your heart, on your face. This gesture of, I'm here for you, I care about you, I'm listening. Meditation can be the gateway to self compassion. It can be the gateway to softening our self judgment and blame and criticism. So see if you can intentionally, no matter what is going on in your life right now, no matter what is here today, could be joy, could be anger, could be sadness, fear, whatever is present, or even a state of neutrality, or like, well, there's not really much here that I'm aware of. Maybe even in like a numbness. See if you can welcome all of it. And if you can't welcome all of it today, see if you can have the intention or the awareness of, I am trying to learn how to welcome all of it. And that is hard. Being human is hard. And we are all in this together. We are all experiencing this array of emotions. So now using your breath as an anchor to the present moment, as a lifeline to the present moment. If you want, see if you can welcome in what you've been subtly pushing away. And if it's something that needs expression, rather than sitting here stoically and focusing on your breath, ask what you need to take care of yourself in this moment. If you're by yourself and you can really express freely, that's going to be easier, obviously, than if you're sitting at your desk in a cubicle. And if that's the case for you, tuck this practice away and use it later. So, for example, right now, if you're feeling a lot of sadness and you're feeling the urge to curl up in the fetal position and cry and hold yourself, then do that. Let yourself do that if that feels like what you're needing and wanting. Use this as a gateway to just feel. Emotions that are not repressed, we know from neuroscience, last about 90 seconds. It's the repression and the story and the judgment that keep us stuck in a loop. Let yourself feel. If you're feeling angry and you're in a safe place and you can yell or growl or stomp your feet or pound on a bed or a chair or a pillow, and that feels good to you today, maybe you try that later. There are no wrong emotions. If you're feeling afraid today, ask your body what would feel good. Wrap your arms around you, maybe. Rock. See how your body wants to be soothed today. If you're feeling a lot of excitement or joy or happiness that wants to be expressed through laughter or smiling, allow yourself Allow the energy of whatever is here to be present and to move. Things are always changing. I'm wanting all of us to have an experience of just watching the energy of an emotion move. If you're feeling numb or checked out, be with that. That is okay too. It is so welcome. See if you can observe it. It has depth and nuance as well. Numbness is not just numbness. And all of these things that we're talking about are transforming every second. So I'm going to be quiet now and just encourage you to be with yourself. We have about 5 more minutes. So just see if you can take this time to really presence yourself in whatever you're needing right now. And we'll talk more at the end about if you're in a space where you're needing more outside help, because we all need that sometimes. But right now, see if you can meet yourself where you're at. Allow it in. Allow whatever amount in you can. And if some of it feels blocked, then trust that that is your own psyche, soul, being, spirit, titrating or letting in exactly what you need in exactly the right amount of time. Hold and touch yourself if that's helpful and neat, if it's what you're needing. Know that we're all here together, feeling and allowing and supporting one another. And if it helps you to imagine everybody on this call in a big circle, you can picture us in the sunshine in the big room at the Monona Terrace if you've been there. All of us in a circle, supporting ourselves and supporting each other to just feel and allow and breathe. In these last few moments, I'd like to invite you to try something on. I'd like to invite you to inwardly whisper to yourself, either out loud or silently, I love you. You're talking from your soul or your higher self, your spirit, whatever you believe in, or just your adult self. And you're talking to these inner parts of you, these perhaps inner child parts, you might call them, or these more vulnerable parts of you, these scared parts. So I just want you to try on saying, I love you several times. And if that feels untrue or you have a strong aversion to it, I'd invite you to try on, I'm learning to love you. I'm learning how to love you. Just repeat those phrases, or if you'd like, if that feels resonant, repeat one of those phrases a few times to yourself inwardly or out loud. Hmm. And then if you're open to it, I'd like to invite you to sound out 3 ohms with me, noticing the vibration in your own body. That's what you're tuning into. So we'll breathe in deeply, and then we'll do an ohm, and then we'll breathe in deeply again, and so on for 3 ohms. Breathing in. Om. 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 May the fruits of our practice spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. I bow to each one of you. Thank you for coming, taking the time, tuning into yourself. It's really good to be with you again. I've missed this. I'm glad we're going to be together for the next several months every Wednesday when everything's recorded. So if you want to go back and listen to it, it's all on the website.